Welcome back to the channel, Guardians. We have our first weapon review of the season, and we are starting with one from the craftable set from Season 23, the Void Aggressive Frame Linear Fusion Rifle, Doom Petitioner. It has a great perk pool, and on paper is right up there with one of the most high damaging legendary linears in the current iteration of Destiny 2. We will break down the perks for PvE, compare it against other popular linear fusions, and decide whether it is worth parting with your hard-earned alloys, enhancing those 3rd and 4th column perks. Drop a like and sub if you find this video informative. Let's jump in. Doom Petitioner is a free burst aggressive frame linear fusion rifle, craftable and obtainable through wish engrams and Season 23 activities of the Void element, the first aggressive frame Void linear. Aggressive frames require lots of recoil control to stop the weapon from bouncing and excel at DPS on bosses with big crit spots, such as the new dungeon ones. With the right perks, this weapon not only has a 0 recoil, it can overflow its mag all the way up to a staggering 19 rounds, which covers the full inventory of this linear, and can do up to an extra 47% damage in certain scenarios. We will cover this during the god roll section. Perk pool for this weapon is very generous considering the recent seasonal weapons that have been dropping. On the 3rd column, you have excellent reload perks that nullify the need to spec into reload at all. Reconstruction passively overflows the magazine up to 12 rounds, whilst Envious Assassin can overflow all the way up to 19 rounds, which requires skills to activate. Both are excellent choices, whilst in the 4th column you have very strong damage increase options. Golden Tricorn provides the biggest buff with a 50% increase, although it requires getting a kill with the weapon and then getting a void ability kill. It's not ideal, whilst Precision Instrument, a brand new perk, increases precision damage in stacks. Individual crits from a burst increase the stack, which maxes out at 6, providing a 25% damage buff to critical damage. And with the enhanced version of the perk, it becomes 30%. Landing 2 full bursts as crits will grant max stacks of the perk. This option is best suited to solo play. On the other hand, for situations where there are lots of adds in close proximity, Surrounded comes into the picture. For those of you that already have Briar's Contempt, the linear from the Root of Nightmares raid, you will be familiar with this perk. It grants a 40% damage increase when surrounded by 3 or more combatants within an 8 meter radius, with the enhanced version granting a generous 47% damage increase. This perk is very situational but excellent for raid encounters where you're sat in a well with adds all around you, but also risky, especially in higher difficulties where being surrounded may cause inconvenience. Shout out to the goofy destabilizing rounds loose change combo. In case you're crazy and looking for an ad clearer that synergizes with void builds, the weapon also comes with a decent origin trait, which grants a mag refill, buff to handling, and a 5% decrease of charge time when an ally is killed or your shields are destroyed. Let's take a look at the best roll available on this weapon, but before we do that, please consider dropping a like if you've made it this far, and subscribe for future content if you're new to the channel. We do builds, weapon reviews like this one, plus other Destiny 2 news. As we mentioned before, the reload stat is not needed for this weapon, ruling that out of the masterwork pool. Stability is the next best thing, and we will go for that, helping the weapon shake less when firing consecutive bursts. Then comes the recoil stat. Its base value is 71, and with arrowhead break, the recoil maxes out, making it very smooth when firing, nullifying the bounce of the weapon. For the 2nd column, you'll want to increase the mag size. Enhanced battery supposedly increases the mag by 1, but it actually doesn't do anything. Select ionized battery instead, which increases the mag to 6, which negatively impacts reload speed, but we don't need to worry about the reload stat. For the 3rd column, we've mentioned previously the 2 standout perks. Reconstruction is a safe option, but Envious does give the weapon the ability to load up all of its reserves into the mag if sufficient kills are made with other weapons. I personally would go for Envious Assassin, but honestly, both perks are solid. For the final column, as mentioned before, this really depends on the content you're going to play. Doing DPS against Oryx or Rolk, Precision Instrument will be better, as Surrounded will not proc in those encounters. However, if you are doing DPS on encounters where adds tend to spawn during damage pages, such as the Warlord's Ruin encounters, that 40% damage buff, 47% if enhanced, trumps Precision Instrument. For damage comparisons on screen per burst, Surrounded does roughly an extra 3,500 damage per individual precision hit, meaning per burst an extra 10,000 plus damage. Yes, Surrounded is the better perk for DPS, but getting it to proc can be very situational. For this, I feel Precision Instrument, despite having less overall damage, is the better perk, providing a bit of consistency. For comparison purposes, Briar's Contempt, which can roll Surrounded with Envious or Reconstruction as well, has better stats overall than the Petitioner and does solar damage, making it more useful thanks to the solar artifact perks this season, like Flint Striker. However, if you don't have a Briars like me, Doom Petitioner is a perfect alternative and also has the advantage of the Precision Instrument perk, making it very strong even if you decide to roll it without the Surrounded perk. To recap my suggested god roll, you want to go for Arrowhead Break for total recoil control, Ionized Battery for the mag increase, either Recon or Envious for the reload perk, Surrounded or Precision Instrument for damage perks, and finally a Stability Masterwork. In summary, this is a decent alternative to Briars and does massive damage to bosses. It is absolutely worth enhancing the perks regardless of which you decide to go with. Recon loads ammo faster, Envious takes less kills to overflow, Surrounded gets a bonus 7% damage increase, whilst Precision Instruments damage maxes out at 30% instead of 25%. It's one of the best seasonal weapons to pick up this season for PvE. It gets a 5 out of 5 rating. It's one of the best weapons of its archetype and easily obtained. Let me know in the comments if you have this weapon crafted and what role you are rocking. That's it for this video. Made it to the end? Awesome! Drop a like and sub for future content. There are tons of videos planned with a Dawn Chorus Warlock build on its way next, followed by the Scatter Signal Fusion Rifle review. Thank you for watching, peeps. This was Plasma Alchemist. Your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time, see you later.
Fight forever, Guardian!